Welcome to a new episode. My name is Martin, and today I'm going to show you the Grand Bunker. As you can see right behind me, it sure is a Grand Bunker. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, why it's so interesting for me, what's the history behind it, and I'm going to show you around a little bit, because I think, in my opinion, the museum was it's very nice, very realistic. They put it back in the state like it was on the 6th of June 1944. But before, I want to show you this. Here we have the landing boats, one of the landing boats which they used during D-Day, and this particular one was a replica made for Saving Private Ryan. As you can see here, most of it is in English, or in French, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it. As you can see here, it is the same number as on the side. So these boats were used by the Allied forces, and troops could be put inside here. It had a crew of 3 or 4, can't really remember actually. Sorry about that. And you were sitting in here like this, and this would be the view which you had when you walked out. I think there was space for about 35 people in here, and when you walk out, there's a little ramp here, and on the beach you were. I'll walk around it a little bit. The entire structure was made of wood. Of course, some parts were made of iron because of the durability. This is the back. You can see 2 rudders over there. This is the other side. Very interesting. It's also very cool to see a piece which was used in Saving Private Ryan in real life, of course. Right here next to the museum we have this M7 Priest. This particular one was found at the bottom of the sea in Armory. They took it out, restored it a little bit. Tracks are gone, as you can see, and put it here at the museum. Can't tell you much about it because I think this is an English tank. I'm not too familiar with that. Oh, it's an American actually. And some other things. M3 Stewart, used by the Americans. And right here we have the M3 half track. I'm going to show you the back of the museum now. There's a small trench over here. Going up the stairs, you can walk around the entire museum. Here, right here, you can see tank turret, which are mainly used by Germans. They, when a tank was shot and not able to use anymore, they took off the turret and put it on top of some kind of small bunker, so they still can use the cannon, which for defense was of course very useful. So now I'm gonna take you inside the bunker and show you the inside. Also at the front of the museum there's this 88mm flak cannon. can see they were widely used, not just cannons like this one, but they also were installed in tanks because it was a very strong weapon, and it was capable of destroying both aircraft and tanks, and it was also used against personnel. Very nice restored. So this is the entrance. Very nice camouflaged. So you can see the British Royal Engineers, which I'm going to tell you later about. This is Bob Orell. I'm going to tell you about him as well. So these doors were blasted out. The story behind this bunker is on the 6th of June the British landed here on Sword Beach, and they were not able to capture the bunker at first. So what they did was waited a few days until the 9th of June, and only 4 British soldiers captured this entire bunker. The entire 50 plus German soldiers just surrendered. First they tried to to breach through here using TNT or some kind of explosive. As you can see here, I made a very nice display of it. We're just sitting here at height. Blew out the door, and the entire 50 German garrison, it's not the 50th German garrison, but 50 German soldiers surrendered, including the command. This is the air filter room. Engine room to keep the power up. Here we have the gunner. As you can see, very nice display. It's been shooting a little bit. So up the stairs we go. I have no idea what it says. Let me see. That's what it says. So right here on the first floor we have the ammunition storage. As you can see, some Panzerfaust, 88s and lots of other things. Right here, there's the guy who gave the soldiers their rifles. Very nicely stored everything. Some buckets over here, as you can see. This is where they would live. And very important as well, sick bay. Just look at all those little things, all original. Very nice. Here's the doctor. Might be just finished operating. This is very cool actually. The Germans had these knobs on the bottom of their shoes. They're probably still walking here while the concrete was wet. So this has been long, been here for start of the build of this bunker. Right here we just have some small displays. Some talking about Owen Rommel, who inspected the Atlantic wall, which went from Norway all the way to the border of Spain. He came to look at the Atlantic wall and said this is not correct. This will not stop the Allied forces from invading Europe. So they started building the Atlantic wall properly, installing bunkers, installing everything on like defenses on the beaches, placing mines and whatever, barbed wire, just to make the invasion almost impossible. You can see the bunker with the tank turret on top again, used on another location. So going to the level 3 now. As you can see, this bunker was very tall. It was a 14-meter high building, which was used as an observation tower for the artillery batteries, which were a bit more landinward. This will be the radio tower, radio level, as you can see. Der Wind hat mit, which means the enemy is listening. These are funny actually. A bit higher up there's a distance meter, I'll show you later. And there's also this horn, sort of, and they could talk from upstairs through the pipe, and they would hear it here in the radio room. So communication didn't have to go via telephones or wires in the building, but this is a very easy solution to communicate with another level. Here you can see a Gefreiter doing some communication business, probably doing some Morse or something. You can see a very nice Normandy camouflage helmet. Here's some more. As you can see, all the names which was where you had to talk in. This is the Lufteraum, somewhere downstairs I think. Maschinenraum is where the engine was. Führerraum is the command room, and the horn would be in there as well. So this was the observation deck, as you can see. There's a little speak thing. It's a plantraum. As you can see, a very nice view here. These days it's all built, fully built, and some trees over there. Back in the day, you can imagine, there was all just field. I think there was only one house right here in front, and the rest you can just overlook the sea. Yes, as you can see there, this picture, it's fairly much gone. And this picture as well. Right here you can see like it was around 6th of June. No buildings, no trees. Okay, let me see if this is gonna work. Just gotta find it. Ah, yes. This is the distance meter. Oh. Isn't going very well. And it gave you the possibility, excuse me for the noise, to look all the way in the distance, of course. Obviously. Ah, this is difficult. Well, whatever. I have no idea how this works, so I cannot tell you a thing about it. But I think it's very awesome that you can still see through it. This would be the front. That you can still see through it. And still the lens is fairly clear. Very well. As you can see here, we can go to the roof. We should. So this was a place where they can install 20mm anti-aircraft gun to make sure they can fire planes, which we flew over. Some small ammunition storage in here, I think. Right here too. But it's absolutely stunning, this view. Let's look at it. It's early in the morning still. At this moment it's 9:45. Everything is so peaceful here. Right now it is. Back in the days it wasn't. Just look at it. Very, very thick walls, as you can see. Not able to show you the rest over the edge. Too bad. Very beautiful. Our hotel was right over there. Slept in an Ibis hotel. Fairly good. Good breakfast. Nice bed. And lots of history around this area. It was fairly cramped in here. Difficult to walk up with the camera in my hand. I'm going to show you a bit more of the. So we're in France, as you can understand by now, and they still have to wear the face mask. In the Netherlands we don't have that anymore, but since I'm alone in this room and I only saw 2 other guests, I can speak to you like this. So as I was telling you about the story of this bunker, the Royal Engineers came here on the 9th of June. The entire German garrison was still in here, and yeah, they just at first the British were not able to capture this fort because it was heavily defended, of course. But yeah, after a few days the Germans just surrendered, and with only four British soldiers commanded by Bob Orell, Lieutenant Bob Orell, they were able to capture the fort in the end. At first there was much resistance of German machine gun fire, throwing hand grenades off the roof, and they just were not able to capture this fort. But in the end they managed to capture it. It's a very interesting story because it was only done by four soldiers, and they were just able to capture the entire bunker almost by themselves. Thrown out the bridge, and after that the Germans just surrendered. It's just a very interesting story. That's why I would come back to this place. I've visited this bunker as well in 2019. And yeah, I just wanted to come here again. Take you around, show you some more little details. Stupid floor cracks. Here you can see kein Licht bei geöffnete, excuse me for my German, Schachte, which means no light when the things are open. As you can see here, these boards, I think, because it was very easy for the enemy to spot you from fairly big distance. As you can see here, this is the building which was here situated before, and when the bunker had to be built, it took the entire house down. Right here on this picture you can see a big crater in the front of the bunker. We'll be right over here on this part. They restored it, of course. But I think it was hit by a big piece of artillery. This seems some kind of what's it called? Heater. I think you could open this hatch. No, it's closed, of course. Put in some firewood or something, coals maybe, so the place could be heated up, especially during winter time. Well, this thing, it's fairly interesting. It looks like an antenna. As you can see here, it's made out of multiple pieces, and just by turning here, the antenna would go up. They probably were able to attach some kind of cables right here to make communications possible. Here we can see, I think some private or something talking to some commander, don't know the rank, probably a lieutenant or something, about the, might be the area. So cool how they made all this. Just putting up the display here. Some more maps in the case. And it's actually wearing some kind of paper in the sleeve. And this guy just gives me the creeps. Just look at the face. Right here you can see all kinds of insignia used by the Germans. Some Luftwaffe, it's probably some signal corps or something. SS, Feldgendarmerie, and some medical things, I think. Some other insignia like the wounded badge. As you can see, the wounded badge. Artillery. This is a Fallschirmjäger. Can't remember this for now. Sorry about that. Nahkampfspanner. Very cool. Okay, we're back at the armory. As you can see how thick these walls are. It's my hands for comparison. Obviously it was necessary, so it couldn't be blown up fairly easily. But look at it, how big it is. See, some hinge over here, probably been some door. I always think when I compare the German to the American medical items, that the German medical items are far more gruesome looking if I can say it like that, than the American things are. Looks more some kind of these old horror movies in an old hospital or something. There you can see some items which were used, still covered in blood. And the doctor also looks like some kind of a crazy doctor, inventor of Frankenstein. Let's look how small this space here is. Imagine laying there, barely no feet room. This is what life would have been like in other bunkers. Chilling, reading a bit, listening to the radio, or as well sleeping a little bit, resting from maybe combat which you had on another front. Here's another few photos of what the armor would have looked like. Right there, some weapons. Over here by the exit we have some insignias of the British Army. And some more. Right here in the museum shop, there's still a 20mm cannon. Might be the one that was sitting on the top of the roof. And here you can see again what the bunker would have been looked like. Also with the 20mm on top. It was camouflaged, by now it's just a concrete structure. Very cool model. So it became a bit windy. This was my tour of the bunker. As you can see right here behind me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will post more videos of my trip through Normandy, so stay tuned. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day.